All right, what's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and this is your Real Housewives of New Jersey review. All right, so I only watched it once, so hopefully I remember everything that happened. Melissa and Joe said Teresa went about things the wrong way. Jennifer's father in Turkey, something about her father going to Turkey and her mom being unreasonable. I don't know what those were about. But we get to Dolores and Frank, and Frank is telling Dolores that she needs to talk to David about their relationship, and they're in the kitchen, right? And so he tells her that he built that house for her and renovated that house for her, and she was like, well, I didn't get anything that I thought I was going to get in return in terms of there was no engagement. You did not ask me to marry you. And he's like, well, girl, I built you this house. I mean, like, what more can I say? And if you think about it, I mean, first of all, what more can you say is put her name on the house? Put her name on the house, right? You built this house for her. Put her name on the house. Maybe she'll move in. Because I don't know what Dolores wants. I think she goes back and forth with it, because she wants to seem. She doesn't want to seem like she wants to be married, right? Because she's cool with what it is, but society is like, girl, you're doing all these things. You need to be married to him. You need to be married to him. So I think she has like a conflict going back and forth where she really doesn't care, but still cares a little bit because that's what she's been taught in society. Is like, you got to care. This man has to show you that he loves you and this and that. When he is showing, the only thing that I think David is not doing is coming around as often, and that's what she says. She wants them to do more stuff together. So for Joe's birthday, they are sitting around at dinner. I'm trying to figure out what was going on. They're sitting around at dinner. They said that they're going to have a pool party for I guess a last pool party in Teresa's house, right? So they're all sitting there and they're going through the list of who they want to invite. And what's her name says, you're going to invite Michelle, the one that's been talking shit about your brother. And then they asked her, is she going to invite the pool guy? And then she was saying that the pool guy was her BFF and all this other stuff, honey. We'll see. They'll probably end up being together just out of convenience. I don't know. So she does explain to Joe that, Teresa explains to Joe that she told Michelle that she can't list with her until they fix whatever the issue is with Joe. Melissa sends a text to all the women, including Jackie, to invite them to the pool party. And then she was like, Jackie and Evan, do you think that they will come? She was like, if they don't come, they can go F themselves. I was like, girl, the thing with Teresa is it's really frustrating because there's so many issues going on with that. It's like what she did was wrong. She did it as a way to get back at Jackie, and now she does something wrong, and then something is, she reacts to it and says something, and now you want her to apologize. It's like you want a lot out of Jackie and you're not giving anything. And you're not giving anything because of the way she doesn't bow down to you. And that's your problem with her, is that she doesn't bow down to you. She makes you look stupid as hell when you say things and nobody else corrects you except for Jackie. And then Jackie always wants to say that she's a lawyer. And so I think it makes Teresa feel dumb. And so Teresa was able to go through, fuck up the party. And then when Jackie retaliates, says, oh, Jackie now has to apologize to me for using an analogy, using my daughter. It's like, when do you actually say that you fucked up? When do you do that? When does that happen? Does that happen at any time? I just don't understand. Anyway, so Margaret meets with her ghostwriter, and they're talking about, the contents of the book and this and that. And she says that with her mother being from Hungary, a Hungarian immigrant, sexuality was very important, and looking great was very important because it was how you got a man. Another one. Here's another story about, women putting all their all into this outward appearance so that they can, get a man or whatever. So she admits that her self-worth was in men. Her mother's self-worth was in men, right? And we see that happen. It's so many times that, like, so many women fall victim to that, putting their value and their worthiness in the whatever the man wants from you. And it's like, you have to realize that he's not the prize, you're the prize. But in a patriarchy, you are programmed to believe that the man is the prize. The man makes you more valuable, right? The man makes you more valuable. It's like, I don't know. She said she did have sex with her bosses. There was no Me Too movement. So yes, she felt pressured, but she also felt like she had to do it. Like, there's that saying that, oh, she slept her way to the top. Why were men put in position to where they could get sex from women in order for her to succeed? That's not the woman's fault. That's the men who are the gatekeepers of whatever industry she's trying to excel in. That's not cool. Anyway, she says she married her ex-husband, Jan. She was enamored by him. He kind of represented a stability that she didn't have in her life, but they were always fighting about money. She talks about her husband, Joe, which she actually cheated on Joe. If I'm not mistaken, she cheated on Jan with Joe. And now her and Joe are married. And she said that has been the first healthy adult relationship that she's had. He's kind. And I don't know if you guys keep hearing the word. When you go out and you looking for a man, you want to make sure that the first thing you look for, and you learn by trial and error, but the first thing you need to look for is if he's a kind person. Because if he's kind, he's going to approach situations and conflict from a different place. And I don't know if you guys keep hearing it. It's kindness, compassionate, it's heart-centered emotions. And it's not coming from their dicks all the time. It's like, when you find someone who's kind and compassionate and charitable, those are the type of people you want to be in relation with. It's not anything else. So she says he's kind. She's the most vulnerable with him. She's the most intimate with him. He is her best friend, and she can be her true self and feel safe. And I was like, Margaret, if that's how you describe your relationship with your husband, it sounds wonderful. And I have to say that I really am enjoying getting to see deeper aspects of Margaret's life, because I was one of the main people saying, I want to know more about Margaret. Her life seems very, very interesting, especially her being a junior, and then the things with her mom. It was more like a friendship. She wasn't really a mother. So I'm interested in hearing, Margaret's story, more about Margaret's story. They show a little clip of Joe Giudice and Teresa talking about how easy their divorce is going, and she got up. She was getting ready for her pool party, so she got up in her little bikini, and she was like, how do I look? He was like, you looking all right for an old lady. All right, Joe and Teresa, child. Anyway, so they're at the pool party, and they want to make sure that Joe and the realtor's husband doesn't get into any altercations. So they also ask, Melissa asked Jackie, was she going to the party? And she felt like that Teresa was extending an olive branch. And Jackie said she can stick that olive branch up her ass. So Melissa told Teresa what she said, and Teresa did not like that. She was like, okay, all right, bitch, I got you. So anyways, the conversation about the pineapple was really, really funny. It was Frank and Joe, and Joe was telling Frank that he was like, here comes my sister with these pineapples, because she had told them earlier that pineapples make you taste good, right? And he was like, I don't know if that's true or not. And he was like, and then Frank, who is a damn bodybuilder, supposed to be healthy, he was like, she's trying to say that what you eat is what you taste like? Yes. That was funny when they were explaining that. He was like, I don't know. I've never heard of that. Girl, y'all better get hip. Anyways, and then Joe and Margaret show up, and then it was funny because Joe says to Frank, that's why I love when the husbands are there, because he was like, look at Joe and Margaret. You look at Joe, Margaret dressed him. And then when he walks over there, Joe was like, Margaret dressed you? He was like, how did you know? Margaret had his clothes laid out and everything. It was so funny. She had him looking cute though. She told him, you have these red shorts and it will bring out the pimentos and the olives on your shirt. He looked cute. So everybody's saying that they need Jackie and Teresa to get to a good place. We want Jackie to be able to come around without their feeling any tension. We want them to be on, in a good space or whatever. So they were like, maybe you guys need a personal one-on-one. So Dolores says that, okay, well, maybe we can do it at my house because I'm about to get an award for something, some charitable work that she has done. Dolores is always doing charity work, but she's about to get an award for something, and so she invites all of the women to her house. Teresa says she can't go because she has to do some soccer things with the kids or whatever. So Michelle and her husband, I forget his name, he shows up. He's the one that is telling people that Joe owes him thousands of dollars. So Joe gets his shit. He was like, come on, let's talk to you. Let me talk to you let me holler at you for a second. So it was kind of awkward at first. And then he was like, so what are you saying that I owe you money? So the way that Joe explained it, it seemed like since there was no agreement that he didn't give that guy any money. That's what it seems like to me. And so he's like thinking, and everybody's like, well, you've made verbal agreements, right? Your word is your bond, right? You've made verbal agreements. You've made agreements on handshakes. You're saying that you didn't give him any money because it's called growing with Gorga. But yes, it bears your name, but the people who work for you should get paid for what they did to help you grow with Gorga. So it seemed like the guy didn't want any problems. It seemed like he was like, okay, he was like, like you misunderstood me or whatever. He was like, well, moving forward, we're going to have things in writing, and that's it. So he was more concerned. The dude was like, okay, so can my wife, your sister list her house with my wife? And he was like, yeah. And so they straightened it out. I think that was what the guy was really trying to get to, just resolve the issue. I don't care, whatever, because however much this house sells for, it's going to be a great commission for their family, okay? So everybody's taking shots of tequila, and Jen is drinking like a fucking fish. Do you hear me? She is so fucked up. She arrived separate than Bill, and she was so messed up. And Bill wasn't even, he was just looking at her like, oh, look, she's falling on her face. And Margaret was more concerned with her. She was like, what are you doing? What's going on over here? What's up? I love Margaret. And she was like, let's get her up. She was like, I'm kind of concerned about her because she was just drinking and drinking and drinking. They were playing, in the water and stuff like that. It was so cringy when the pool guy jumped in the water and then he like put his hands around Teresa and Jennifer, and even Bill was like, hey, keep your hands off my wife, bro. But she was so fucked up, and at one point she was drinking the water, and the water, it was missing her entire mouth. It was just it was falling. She was toe up. She was happy to be out, child. Anyway, so they get her, and it looked like what's the name didn't even care. She was in the car. They tried to get her to the car, and I don't know how I felt about the other men helping Nabil pick her up. I didn't think that they needed to help him. Anyways, they sit her in the car, and she does end up throwing up in the car, and that was the end of the episode. You guys let me know what you think about the episode. Let's get down in the comments. Take care of each other and protect your energy. Peace.